Hey guys, I'm Justin Morgan, and I have recorded my lifts for this morning, and I have been lifting for almost 1 year now. I think it's been about a year that I started lifting. For the first 6 months that I lifted, I lifted weights 2 days per week, and then I did some pull-ups on another day of the week, and that was all that I did. I didn't do anything else. I had a bench press day where I did chest, and then I had another day where I did lower body, and that was did deadlifts and squats. And I wouldn't say I made super fast results in that, but it wasn't bad. And that was on a low protein, low fat diet. Now, I've been lifting for almost a year, well, about a year, and 10 weeks ago I started the 5x5 program, StrongLifts 5x5, and thus far that has been the single best program that I have used. And even though I was on a bad program for the first 6 months, and then I did Michael Hearn's Power Bodybuilding, which wasn't that bad, but I don't think I got near as good results as I have with the 5x5 program, So, in terms of comparing myself to other lifters, though, even though I'm on a low protein diet, like right now, I haven't changed my progress at all, but I'm only getting 60 or 70 grams of protein in a day. And so, it just works. It works. You don't need as much protein as you think you do. But comparing myself to other lifters, my progress in terms of strength, at least, has not been any different whatsoever. When I compare myself to other people that have been lifting about a year, my progress has been, as good as theirs. So, I don't have my deadlifts today, but I did do squats, I did bench press, and I did Pendlay rows. And you'll see the footage for those in just a minute. Wednesday I'll probably do another video, and I will put up my deadlifts on those. So, here are my numbers after almost 1 year of lifting. Alright, so here you can see I am squatting, and I am pushing 270 pounds, that is 123 kilograms, and I had actually been pushing quite a bit more, I've been pushing almost this much weight back when I started the 5x5 program, but I had to dramatically decrease the weights because I wasn't going down in a full range of motion. I was just going like half squats or almost to parallel, whereas now I'm going significantly below parallel until I bottom out at the very bottom and then push my way back up. So I've had to obviously decrease the weight in that. I think there's a lot of benefits as far as your knees go in doing a full range of motion on squats. I never really gave too much mind to it, but in my third set here, you'll see when I get to it that I've found a good camera angle where you can actually see the full range of motion, and I'm going down well below parallel. Ideally, to if I ever want to do anything with competitive powerlifting in the future, and I want to get into that, I'll have to obviously hit at competition level. But I'm at least, I'd say maybe in another year or so, I might think about getting with a coach and training for something like that, or Olympic lifting. And here you can see I'm in my third set, and I can just finish watching that. One thing you guys might take a look at here is, if you notice when I come up, my knees start to cave in just a little bit. It's not a real bad thing, and you see that a lot, but that is a sign that your abductors, the outer muscles of your leg, are weak. So that's something I'll probably do well to train as well. If anybody has any ideas on how to fix that, I'd appreciate hearing them. And here I am on the bench press. I'm having a hard time figuring out good camera angles so that you guys can see what I'm doing. But I'm kind of showing you my setup here. I try to get a good arch in my back, which is just to get a good scapular retraction. And for competitive powerlifting, you'll need your scapula against the bench as well as your glutes touching the bench. And I'm pushing 230 pounds here. That's 155 kilos. And I'll probably try to deload this in the next week or so and try to improve my form some. You'll be able to see it a little better when I change the camera angle here in just a minute. And there you go. I'm kind of showing you my setup again here. This is just how I set up the bench press. So what you ideally want is for your elbows to stay kind of tucked in as you come down and almost touch the bar against your chest. And just in competitive powerlifting, you would pause for a brief second. I don't do that here, but as you see, when I come back up, I start to flare my elbows out a little bit, and this has been a great video because I'm seeing areas where I have weaknesses, and you really don't want your elbows to flare out like that. So on the squats, I did 5, 5, and 4 in terms of reps, and I think I did the same thing here on bench press. I got 2 sets of 5 and then 1 set of 4. So. And the last thing I do is Pendlay rows here. And now my wife actually called me and she needed me to come home kind of quickly. So I kind of cut the Pendlay rows, or I didn't videotape my last 2 sets, I only got this one. This is a relatively new exercise for me. I haven't done it a lot, and I think I'm going to have to deload this one here as well just to work on form, because as far as my body goes, it's not too bad. I've got good retraction there. My back is arched. You probably don't want to look up the way I am. You want your spine, including your neck, to be in a neutral position. So my neck should be in alignment with my spine. But other than that, it's not horrible. But I got some work to do on it. One thing I could do with those Pendlay rows is definitely to speed them up. I take a long time in between each rep, and I didn't really notice that on the other side exercises as much, but on the Pendlay rows I could definitely stand to speed up the reps some. But that's it for today, guys. I'm kind of excited. I'm planning on driving up to Chicago in a couple weeks, and I'm going to hopefully work out with Mike Velocity while I'm there. We talked a little bit and planning to get together. He said he was going to surprise me on what we were going to do. So I'll be looking forward to that, and we'll probably have a video from it then. But until then, this is me signing off. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you got any good tips or advice for me, other than to eat more protein, because I've tried eating more and less protein, and it just doesn't really seem to affect me much. I think getting 60 to 70 grams of protein a day is plenty for me, and I don't seem to get too much benefit from going too far above that. So, thank you all, and have a good one.
Eat your fruits and veggies, or they will eat you.